Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Treen, and every week I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things intuition. Through personal stories, experiences, and practices, offering energetic reflections to help you discover, connect, and fully realize how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to October 2022. Kind of shocking. Is it shocking? You know, for a lot of people that I talk to, it is. This year really flew by. And I know since 2020, time has kind of slowed down and then sped right up and kind of all over the place. But yeah, this year has really been long but fast. That's how I felt anyway. But yeah, we're in October already, and I can't wait to share my energy impressions with you, and hopefully it will help you navigate your October personally. But first, the reason I'm also very excited about October is because I am hosting a free workshop, one that I've been thinking about and wanting to do for quite a while now, but the space has opened up and I'm ready to offer this to you. And I cannot wait because this is a workshop all about connecting to your intuitive rhythm. So if you listen to my last episode talking about the importance of understanding your own rhythm and your own pace, and when that becomes completely jarred and out of any kind of authentic alignment for yourself, the most important thing is to connect to your personal rhythm by way of connecting to your unique energy, which will help you understand how you personally feel when you are grounded, because it really is a unique feeling to everyone. There are, similarities for sure, but the true understanding of being embodied, of landing back into your body so that you are totally sure that it's you making the decisions and not anybody else or any influences outside of you, basically any of the shoulds, making sure that you're not doing any shoulds, that it's all about yes or no, but based on what you want. And then connecting to your own intuitive rhythm really connects you to the energy, the feeling of your unique intuition. And by doing that, as we know, life becomes a lot more fun. And you finally understand, oh, wait, that's what I want to do. You know what is yours and what isn't. And that spans so many different ways of knowing what is yours and what isn't, energetically, but also in your career, in your daily life, all of the things. Connecting to slowing down and connecting to your unique intuitive rhythm, from what I have experienced, is totally life-changing. So please, if you are even a little bit interested, sign up for it. If you can't make it live, of course, there will be access to the replay, so you can definitely take part. You can have your videos on or off. There will be time at the end to do a little bit of sharing, which I don't put on the Zoom, on the replay. That's only for people that join live, so protecting the privacy of everyone. But yeah, there will be time, but it's not mandatory, not necessary, only if you want to. So I hope that you join me on October 14th. That's a Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific. I find that time kind of hits everything, so people in the Southern Hemisphere can join, and East Coast, it's not too late. It really is a workshop for the energy of your nervous system. Like I said, to relax your body and your mind so you can really remember your spirit, because your intuition is always waiting to guide you. We do say things like reconnect, rediscover, reclaim, but that's really about our awareness, because it's always there. doesn't go anywhere. So because your intuition is always waiting to guide you, it's ready. It's ready for you to reclaim your intuitive rhythm. And that helps you to know exactly how you feel when you're grounded. It's really about learning how to connect, protect, and utilize the power of your unique intuitive rhythm. Because the world will never, but also will not behave for us to always feel grounded, calm, and clear. But when you remember and connect to your intuitive rhythm, the world doesn't have to behave. You don't have to worry about being around the right people. I mean, ideally in your life, you are around the right people most of the time. But as we know, that is not always the case. I really hope that you join me because I am, so excited, so inspired. And truly the last 4 years, I've been learning what our intuitive rhythm is through experience, through my own, through my work. And that's why the word majesty came, because it really is something that we should hold very dear, something that we should revere and feel the greatness and the magnitude of, is our ability to slow down, to regulate our nervous system, to find our breath, all the things. So you can find the link to sign up in my show notes. Very easy. Feel free to send me any questions if you have them. But yeah, you will definitely, if anything, feel incredibly calm and grounded by the end. But you should also have the tools to feel that way on your own. And I can't wait to host it. As you can hear, I'm very excited about it. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Before we get into October energy impressions. Okay, so let's talk about October. Now, again, these energy impressions are when I really kind of feel into what we can do in October, how October is inviting us. And I heard Channy Nicholas say this, and I love it, where these energy impressions are not predictive, they're prescriptive, which means they may help you in some way, support you, but definitely not leading you, because you lead yourself with all the tools, because it's fun to carry and figure out and learn about all of these beautiful tools. But in the end, you are the guide, you are the guru, you are the oracle, you are the one. And these energy impressions are to support me personally, because it's something that I did for myself. And now they are supporting you. So I thank you for allowing me to do that. Now, as I said, thank you. That makes me actually feel very strongly that October can be a month of deep gratitude, of really looking at what you can be thankful for over the last year, and maybe even the last 2 years. So starting with that gratitude is also a really beautiful grounding force. And that's interesting because when I was feeling into it before, which is how I usually do it, I felt that the energy had a lot to do with the robin. Now, the robin is traditionally a spring animal, and it is spring in the southern hemisphere, but we're in autumn in the northern hemisphere. But I love the robin as a symbol for October, because the robin is all about using its instincts, understanding when it needs to do something to receive what they're looking for. There's a lot of personal responsibility in the robin, but it also makes me feel like October, we should be putting that gratitude towards seeds that we planted maybe right at the beginning of the year. And maybe it's time, maybe October is the time to start really seeing the growth. And maybe that gratitude is a pair. Maybe it is a complete teammate to the growth, to what you've done, what you've created, what you've been through. There may be some beautiful opportunities to really reflect, and understand that. And then that will really help you realize what you want to do moving forward and what you maybe need to let go of that's not serving you. Maybe that you've outgrown. And giving gratitude to that. Because I don't think, especially for me, I do not give as much thanks to the endings as the beginnings. And I'm not speaking on any kind of tragic ending, but the cycles of our lives, the cycles of things we do when it ends. That should be a really amazing time to reflect and be so thankful of the journey. So hopefully, if you are invited to do that in October through your own intuition, maybe other people around you, or maybe you feel inspired from this episode, I hope that you can carve out time to do that. But the Robin also made me think and feel that this month might be a great month to kind of shake up your routines a little bit, to be a little bit more flexible, to maybe look at what you have been doing and see if it's still what you need to be doing. So, for instance, say that you have a morning routine. Say you wake up super early because you have to go to your job, but you want to do your meditation or your journal practice. You want to have time for yourself. And maybe that has been serving you beautifully. As I know, I love a good morning routine like that. I do wake up early and do all the things. I love it. It's very important to me. My morning practices sets the day off beautifully. But one thing I do is I always allow myself to change it. I check in with myself every day. And if on that morning I need more sleep, I allow myself to sleep because these routines are supposed to be supporting us. Kind of like these energy impressions, where they should be supporting us, not leading us. We should not be working for our routines. They should be working for us. So if you have been kind of hard on yourself to make sure, wake up early, do the things you need to do, check the list, maybe in October you take a week and you let yourself sleep in. Maybe you do your journaling at night. How can you kind of shake it up? Because October might be that perfect month for you to gain new perspectives on how you live your daily life. Because sometimes when we are so used to our routines, the energy of that can kind of shield what we need to be looking at. It can kind of suppress feelings, ideas, inspired actions. If we get too strict with our energy, we're not following how we are naturally needing to go. We are doing what we feel like we should be doing. And then the robin also made me feel that that's such a beautiful symbol because it's traditionally an animal in the spring of a new cycle. And what is great about recognizing that you're in a new cycle? There's a little bit of freedom in that. So I urge you, encourage you. I will not urge anyone. I encourage you to kind of stop and look and see what kind of new, fresh cycle of your life are you in? And have you been super aware of that? Have you been supporting it? Because in October, we're only 3 months away from the end of the year. It's very easy to just say, well, that's the end of the year. Okay, wait for January. Then I'll start doing the things. But why? Why are we waiting? Why are you waiting? If it's something you want to do now, why can't you do it now? And it's interesting because now I'm thinking about the robin's breast, which is, that beautiful, like reddy orange rust color, kind of that spring autumn connection. But it also highlights for me that question of like, how can we be more in harmony with our heart's desires? And the way to find that harmony, from my experience, is to really be present and clear your eyes and look at your life as fresh as you can. And that actually is so funny because look at your life as fresh as you can look at it the way that you can. Because the other thing the thing that kept coming into my mind, and I thought, oh, well, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. And it was the movie A Beautiful Mind. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, it is about a brilliant mathematician who also was schizophrenic, and, it was kind of a tragic story, but also a beautiful story. So I had to feel into this a little bit more. I'm like, okay, what's the symbolism? What's the meaning that we can use for October? And the first kind of scene that I thought of was that amazing visual of where they added and showed us what his mind looked like, how he was putting all those pieces together, how he was solving those incredibly difficult mathematical problems, creating new theories with his unique view. Now, yes, the main character of that film, and based on the real person, I think John Nash, I think was his name, he did develop schizophrenia. But I also liked that as a metaphor for October, because maybe it's a nod to really stay aware when we feel kind of paranoid, extreme doubt, when our mind is creating scenarios, anxiety, worry. Maybe those are really beautiful invitations in October to, again, stop, slow down, and look and see, are these really based in reality? And something that really helps me is I write them down so that I can see them. And most of the time, no, these are not based in reality. And that's another way that you can kind of clear things out of your energy. Really look at them, bring awareness to them. And especially if it's something that's not true for you, just realizing that it's not true is a way to release it. I've definitely experienced that. So for October, really trusting your instincts, giving so much more value than you ever have to your unique point of view, to what you uniquely offer the world, what you give to others, but what you can give to yourself too. It's almost as if in October, we can kind of step into a new cycle, but maybe it really feels like, instead of a cycle, maybe it feels like a destination. And in this new space, this new energy, maybe it's time to really, truly take advantage of everything that this new destination, kind of quote unquote place, because it might not be a real place, but it might be where you are. Even if everything is kind of the same, it might feel very different. You might feel very different. So how can you take advantage of everything that this new place that you're in has to offer? Really landing into yourself and realizing how capable you are. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because if somebody said, what is the most capable animal? I would probably say the raccoon or the cockroach. Cockroaches are basically immortal, and raccoons have opposable thumbs. So they're, you can't stop them. But no, October, the most capable animal is the robin. And of course it is. Because the robin knows to get out there first and get what they're looking for. And they know exactly where that worm is, because they have to dig for it with their little beak. But they trust their instincts to guide them to where they need to be to get what they need and what they want. So how in October can we be more like the robin and really let your mind wander? Let your imagination flow. How can you be more like the robin? How can you be more in harmony with your heart's desires? How can you trust your instincts more? And how can you honor and value and really utilize your unique perspective, point of view, energy, gifts, talents, and voice? Because maybe we're really meant to start something now, not later. And this is a real cliche, but because who knows if we even have later and what that looks like and what can happen. So we might as well take full advantage of where we find ourselves today. And I hope that you can, because I know you can, because I know that I can. And we are very similar. I know that. And now that I'm really talking about October, everything, because I tuned into kind of what the energy of October would be just before I started recording. And I've already done, everything that Slow Majesty, the intuitive rhythm workshop, will be offering. But now that I'm kind of seeing both in my mind's eye, wow, they flow beautifully together. So I hope that you can join me for the free workshop too, October 14th. Remember, if you can't watch it live, I will send you access to the replay so you can still really take advantage of it. There we go. Okay. But thank you so much for listening to this episode of Intuitive Seek. I would love to hear if you resonated with the energy that I'm feeling and what we may be moving through for October. And if you have any thoughts or questions, as always, please do not hesitate to send me a message. Easiest to get a hold of me at my Instagram at Treenlight, TREENLIGHT, or you can send me a message through my website, treenlight.com. And of course, if you're curious about working with me, I always offer a free clarity session to chat about your needs and how I can support you and if we would be a good fit. And go to the show notes because that's where you can sign up for my free workshop, Slow Majesty, and where you can also sign up for my newsletter, where you will get a weekly letter, the Lighthouse Letter, and also stay up to date on all the happenings that are going on at Treenlight Healing. So if you haven't already, I truly appreciate if you subscribe, follow the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you feel called to give some support, then please share with a friend, or you can leave a review. So thank you again. Be kind to yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hi, Auntie Mary. I just wanted to say something very, very